We're rolling up to Michigan's Adventure as our next stop on our road trip, and I want to start the vlog from the car because we've got one hell of a reveal of their signature coaster, Shivering Timbers. Ready? Here it is. Whoa! Welcome back, everyone, to our road trip. As you saw from our drive into the park this morning, we are here at Michigan's Adventure. Cannot wait to get back on Shivering Timbers, one of my favorite wooden coasters in the world. I first came to this park 2 years ago. I actually didn't think I was going to be coming back so soon, but long story short, Alpine Fury wasn't open in time for our visit to Canada's Wonderland on this trip, and so we actually shelved Canada altogether and needed to fill in those days with a few more stops, and one of those was Michigan's Adventure. Because the individuals I have with me today have not been to Michigan's Adventure, I felt like that was a great opportunity to get back here. Plus, they've done quite a bit of retracking to Shivering Timbers. They've actually installed some Rocky Mountain construction track onto that thing, so should be a little bit smoother, but hopefully it's running just as good as it was, because it is one of my favorite woodies out there. Michigan's Adventure opened in 1956, and then it was acquired by Cedar Fair in 2001. Of course, these days, it's now a Six Flags park after the chains merged together. They are home to 7 roller coasters, which isn't a huge lineup. It's one of the smaller ones in the chain. It's a pretty decent collection overall, with a better headlining coaster than most other Cedar Fair parks, including those that are a lot larger. If you're wondering where we are right now, we're about 30 to 45 minutes away from Grand Rapids, which is one of Michigan's biggest cities. That being said, it is still pretty damn remote, especially if you are on a coaster road trip. You will have to devote a lot of effort to getting all the way up to Michigan's Adventure, and the reason being is because unless you want to fork over the money to take a ferry from Milwaukee or Chicago over to Muskegon, Michigan, where this park resides, you have to drive all the way around Lake Michigan. So where we drove in from, Chicago, it was like over a 3-hour drive. Pretty nuts. A few years ago, they also redid their entrance, and this looks absolutely awesome. I love it. It's great to be back in the park. It looks absolutely stunning. It seems like they've done quite a few upgrades to the landscaping. Some of the signage looks more modern. And yeah, this view with the lake here, Wolverine Wildcat, which is one of the most underrated woodies I've personally been on, and then Thunderhawk back there, Vekoma SLC. Just an absolutely gorgeous, picturesque area of the park. And I love how they designed all these boardwalks so you can walk out and really appreciate this. I have to say too, first impressions, like walking into the park, the atmosphere seems really lively this time compared to how it was last time. That was definitely my biggest criticism, aside from the fact that they get like no investment from their parent company, is the fact that when I was here, it just seemed like the park felt dead. It wasn't that there was no people, whereas this time things just feel a little bit different. So that's a good sign of things to potentially come. See, things like this, I feel like this definitely wasn't here the last time I came to Michigan's Adventure. This looks so nice. This is the area right outside of Shivering Timbers. Dude, look at this thing. It's absolutely incredible. Opened in 1998 from Custom Coasters International. It's personally my favorite of their designs. It only stands 122 feet. I mean, I say only. Most wooden coasters don't even come close to being that tall, but this might be one of the most efficient roller coasters in the world because it barely turns at any point. It's an out and back design. It's like all airtime hills. It's an airtime buffet, and because you're not burning any speed off of excess turns, you maintain an unbelievable pace throughout. I'm really curious to see how smooth this is this time around after the work they've done to it, but if one thing's for sure, we're gonna be flying up out of our seat. It's gonna be sick. Oh my god, this is so tall for a woody. All right, let's run it. Front row and Shivering. Woo-hoo-hoo! I cannot believe this tiny little park in the middle of Muskegon, Michigan ended up with one of the best wooden coasters I have ever been on. Now, the last time I was here, my voice was basically lost. This is what I sounded like. Oh my God! And so I wasn't able to fully scream and shout and appreciate the ride, and it was so worth coming back to the park to check that thing out again. It was running great. Every single airtime moment was superb, especially in that second half. I just love the second half. It's a bunch of small little bunny hills in different shapes and sizes and configurations. First half is like that, but on a larger scale too. Don't get me wrong, tons of fun as well, but yeah, just on a smaller scale, you really come flying up out of your seat on those second half hills. Favorite individual elements, definitely on the first half, those larger speed hills, those are pretty sick. Really good sustained airtime there. Yeah, I didn't find it too rough at all. It definitely bounces for sure, but it has character like all wooden coasters should, in my opinion. Yeah, that was just a blast from start to finish.
Hi, that was good. Like, I don't know, it's just a good wooden coaster.
I really enjoyed that. The RMC track is a little bit weird, but I think it works well enough, and overall the ride is like not rough at all in my opinion.
This park also has 3 wooden coasters, so the next ride we're gonna get on Wolverine Wildcat is another one. It's actually really fun. I've always thought it was underrated. It used to get a lot of hate back in the day, and the park has done a lot of work on it. They've installed a lot of new wood sections and a little bit of steel Titan track on it as well. Wolverine Wildcat is a Din wooden coaster from 1988. It's got a double out and back layout, actually a lot like Phoenix at Knoebels, if you can believe it. All right, Wolverine Wildcat, we're gonna start with Titan track steel section, and then we're gonna switch to the pre-cut track for a really awesome airtime sequence, and then it's gonna go to the rough old Din track. It's a weird one. Here we go. Whoa! Whoa! Feels like gliding on a cloud. Whoa! Yep. And then here's the pre-cut, best stretch of the ride. That is great! And then we're back to the old track. The rest is just okay.
Oh god.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
No aircraft.
Woo! Oh, more Titan track. Okay, that's new. Whoa! Woo! Whoa! Oh, this part is rough. Ah!
That was weird.
It is weird, but it is pretty good. As much as that is bizarre and it's really not cohesive at all because you have all the track switches, I think it's actually a pretty fantastic ride, especially considering its reputation used to be that this was one of the worst wooden coasters in the country. I remember when everyone would say that. And so that's why I was so surprised when I rode this a couple years ago for the first time, and I was like, wow, that is actually pretty fun. And this time around, I think it's maybe even a little bit better. They added even more Titan track around that turnaround section. And that pre-cut track, I love what Gravity Group does with retrack. I love that they keep things wood. That's awesome. And also the airtime on that is crazy.
Yeah, especially the Gravity Group pre-cut.
Wait for the music a little bit.
Especially the Gravity Group pre-cut track section. That part was so good. The airtime was incredible. But I also just love how Titan track rides, especially in that ride. It wasn't a very jarring transition.
Nope.
I would like to see them do the rest of the layout with the pre-cut track. The airtime is just incredible during that section, but the rest of it, there's really not much to it.
That was a weird ride. It was good. It was like Phoenix if it was like from different dimensions and like pieced together again. I don't know. The middle portion of the ride is really great, but the rest of the ride is kind of just like what's happening here.
Behind me, you have the iconic Corkscrew coaster that opened in 1979. Very historic. Built by Aerodynamics, a legendary manufacturer, but unfortunately this is not one of their better rides. As a matter of fact, it's one of their weaker ones. It's just a drop into the double corkscrew, and that's pretty much it. And most of that is definitely pretty rough. It shows its age. Now I will say they've done a good job with the repaint. It looks very fresh. But yeah, there's not much to this one. I'll talk more about this later, but it is a shame that they're so neglected because they really do need like a modern inverting coaster at this point in time. Yes, it would make Corkscrew a little bit redundant, but I just feel like the park deserves that investment. I mean, it looks nice. Like that's where the compliments are gonna end. Brace, here we go. It's the short layout, just the 2 corkscrews on this one. We should be able to be okay. Whoa! Oh! 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 Yeah, that's not great. Not a very good ride. Ooh, not not a great ride on the Corkscrew, I will say. Yeah, now I definitely think they need a modern inverting coaster.
It was just fine. Like, I banged my head around a little, but could have been worse, but also could be so much better.
I don't know what they were really thinking when they were building that ride, because it doesn't really do much. I guess it's just for the novelty of like going upside down. I think they should take this ride out.
We're gonna get on the park's Wild Mouse coaster up next. It's called Mad Mouse. It opened in 1999, and it's one of only 3 aerodynamics wild mice out there in the world. I actually love this. I think it's so much fun. It's definitely one of the best Wild Mouse coasters that you'll find out there. Let's go. I'm actually really excited for this. Here we go. Whoa, this was running without trims too. I think it's gonna be sick.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I am getting pushed around.
Whoa, yeah, this is fun. I really like this. Whoa! Whoa! Keep it going. Yeah, no trims. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Oh, this rocks. Whoa! Whoa! Woo! Oh! Oh! Oh, the air time, it's actually crazy. Whoa, a little bit of an outer bank. Whoa, fun ride. I really like that. Dude, I think that's such a cool Wild Mouse coaster. The banking on that is so funky. It's very smooth. Good airtime at the end too. Like, legitimately, that is spectacular. I think with or without trims, but the fact that we were trimless definitely added a lot to that. So yeah, a lot of fun. Great family coaster. I almost like this more than the Cedar Point Wild Mouse, actually.
That's definitely a step above any other basic Wild Mouse manufacturer. I don't know about being above the Cedar Point Wild Mouse, because I kind of think I always prefer a spinning coaster over a traditional Wild Mouse, but it's still great. It was fun.
That was a really fun Wild Mouse. It was crazy with the trims being off. I don't think I've ever ridden a Wild Mouse with the trims off, but definitely up there is one of my favorite Wild Mice.
I'll always shout out Michigan's Adventures Kids area, Camp Snoopy. They redid this in 2021, and it's honestly one of the best in the chain now. It is so nice. The landscaping's stunning, and it's the one part of the park that was revitalized, so I really think they need to go back and do that with a lot of their different areas, actually. There's 2 roller coasters in this area. You have this little Woodstock Express coaster. This is a Chance Rides Big Dipper. Actually looks pretty fun. It was closed the last time I came, so that is a new coaster credit. And then behind it is Zach Zoomer. That's your typical Woodstock Express coaster that you'll see at a couple of different Cedar Fair parks. Little wooden family coaster. It's actually a great ride, but yeah, we're gonna do the Big Dipper off camera, and we'll see you guys for Zach Zoomer. All right, we got another Woody to get on, Zach Zoomer. This opened in 1994 from Custom Coasters International, a lot like Shivering Timbers. We just got one question though.
Who the f is Zach? Like, actually, I've never heard of Zach. Who is he?
I think every kid's coaster should be built from wood. This is awesome. Here we go. That was fun. I enjoyed it. I still don't know who Zach is though.
Yeah, I don't know who Zach is either, but it was fun. I'm just really confused by Cedar Fair's re-ride policy, because I thought you could do it once and then have to go around, which was already dumb. But then they told me, no, you have to leave and come back. What's up with that? Like, there was literally no one in my row, and all it does is like inconvenience us and let us get less rides, and I really don't understand, and that's my biggest complaint.
She just wants to ride Zach Zoomer a whole bunch.
Ride Zach Zoomer. Like, how much is that to ask? There was literally no one there.
It's the best ride in the park too, so.
It was actually like pretty valid. It's not bad at all.
Zach Zoomer is fun. I love those little wooden coasters.
All right, we are heading to the back of the park where the water park is. We're gonna get on the Thunderhawk Tacoma SLC coaster. Nothing special there, but more importantly, there's also these paddle boats that you can take out on the lake. That looks pretty cool. I haven't seen that at any other Cedar Fair park. You have to wear a safety vest going out on the lake here, but definitely worth it. Dude, this is so sick. Oh my gosh, it's like one of my favorite things in this park already. I didn't realize how this works. You're just going around the lake. You can use this lever to control the direction you're going. There is a barrier, so you can't go too far out in the lake, but still, like, this is actually really cool. And I'm so glad it's included in admission too. They could have easily made this an upcharge, but the fact that it is free makes it all the better. You also get definitely your best views of Thunderhawk from here too. Dude, I'm having so much fun on this. This is so cool. We're gonna go in between these 2 fountains. Oh, I'm getting wet. It's a water ride. Really, really interesting that this park offers that as an experience, and it's free. Really, really enjoyed it. Definitely a workout, but Great views all around.
My legs are sore, but I've never done anything of that sort, so that was very interesting, and I like that it's free and stuff.
Yeah, I love a little boat ride, and I've never gotten the chance to do paddle boats at a park. That was so cute.
Thunderhawk, if you can believe it, is the newest major coaster in the park. It opened in 2008, and it wasn't even really new. It was a relocation from Geauga Lake. It operated as Serial Thriller in that park. Not my favorite, but it's not one of the worst SLCs either. Oh boy, I hope this isn't too rough. The restraints have so much head banging potential, it sucks. Oh! Whoa! Oh! 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 This one's not too bad. Oh! Oh! Woo! Okay, that was tolerable. Except those brakes. As far as the Vekoma suspended looping coaster model goes, which is literally one of the most notoriously awful coaster types out there, that one was really not so bad. Granted, that was a front row ride. The last time I was here, I remember really not liking it, but that was a back row. Maybe they did some improvements too, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it moderately.
Does water taste like shit? And that ride was shit.
It was pretty, hold on. It was pretty bad, but luckily there's like extra padding that's very soft. And I was just kind of like pressing my head into it so I wouldn't bang back and forth, and it was honestly pretty soft and pretty comfortable. But I mean, at least they have a coaster, because this park doesn't get investment. Like, it's good to have something here, I guess. I don't know. I'm liking this park. I'm trying to find more reasons to like it.
We came back around to do Shivering Timbers again, warmed up before we head out of the park today. Holding my lap bar up, here we go. It's a powerhouse of a coaster. It's definitely running faster now. That was pretty sweet. Oh my god, I feel like it's a workout. It gives me the same feeling that Voyage does when I hit its brake run. I've survived something. It feels like I just did a workout. That was so much fun. And I think we're gonna head out of Michigan's adventure, but what'd you think?
The ride is very fun. I just find it a little repetitive. It's a little like, I don't want to call it like lazy, but it's a little lazy. Like, I mean, they know what they're doing with it. Like, the hills deliver great airtime. It's very simple, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't know. I'm impressed by it. I don't know why I'm hating so bad. This park in general is just, I've called it very simple all day. Like, it's not ugly. It looks great. Like, it's not a bad park. I feel like that's a misconception, but plop some rides down, put some flowers down, call it a day. It looks nice, but it's not very like impressive or anything. It's just very Cedar Fair. Just imagine your average Cedar Fair. That's Michigan's Adventure.
Michigan's Adventure is fun. You know, it's nothing special by any means, and I think they really need like a good standout coaster that the general public is going to be a fan of to garner some attention to this park. But, you know, they're probably not going to get that because it just is what it is. There's not much competition besides Cedar Point, and how are you going to compete against that?
Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, because up next we're heading to Cedar Point in Ohio, and we're going to get on their new coaster, Top Thrill 2, hopefully. Finally. If you're subscribed to the Coaster Dash Patreon, you can already see our reaction, so go check that out too. All right, guys, I'll see you all then. Peace out.